it's a nice, bright, sunny morning here in southwest Wisconsin, at least in my little part of it. And I'm not going to end up working on the F-150 this week. It's been too damn cold. It's a little after 10 o'clock, and it's warmed up to about 15 degrees now. But yeah, it's been too cold for me to bother lighting a fire. And later on today, I need to set some round bales for the cows. And fact is, on days when I have to set some bales, that just about does me in for the day anyway. But well, as long as it's been cold and miserable, I think I'll warm things up by talking a little bit about making hay. So anyway, I've lived on this farm my entire life. I bought it from my grandparents back in the 1970s. It skipped a generation for reasons I won't get into. But yeah, some of my earliest memories are putting hay in this hay mow here. So yeah, it's kind of messy in the hay mow here right now. I've got of course I remodeled the barn, so I've got the John Deere combine in that end, and I've got the grain head for the combine upstairs here. I've got a four-wheeler and a couple of lawnmowers. And anyway, the first thing I can remember about making hay is we used to I don't remember what the first square baler that I remember was. I remember whether it was a square baler. I kind of think it might have been an older International 45 or 46, but I was pretty young at the time. But anyway, they'd load up the square bales onto a flat rack and push them up here into the hay mow. I remember there was my grandfather had made kind of a push bumper to bolt on the front of the WD-45, and someone would get on the wagon tongue and steer it, and they'd push it up here. And my grandfather had made, I don't know if I can get a good shot of it or not. There's that thing there, there's a homemade winch up on there. I remember there was, oh man, a couple hundred feet of a hay rope, large diameter rope. I don't remember. Well, actually, right there is a small remnant of it. But there was an electric motor up there, and that winch, the rope wrapped around that thing right there and winched the hay around. There was oh my gosh, how do I describe it? There was a metallic bale carrying device. And there were three ropes that came down, small ropes that controlled it, and you'd pull the one rope and the winch would lift the bales up there. There was a carriage on that hay track up there, and it would somehow, I don't even remember the specifics of it, but somehow you could set it up so it would go up, hit the top, and go one way and go a certain amount and drop the bales. Or you could set it another way and it'll go up a certain amount and go the other way and drop the bales. To be honest, I don't remember a lot of the specifics of it because it was so long ago. But it was well, better than putting up loose hay, I guess. But that seemed to work fairly well. Then sometime in the 1960s, on the farm here, they picked up a Alice Chalmers 303 baler with a thrower on it. And at that time, they got a couple of bale thrower racks, and they still pushed the hay wagons in here, but they had a small skeleton elevator that set on one side, and they would set at least on this side, they set the elevator on that chute that goes down to the barn, and set the other end up on top of that beam. And They would fill up one side and then fill up the other side of the hay mow here. And well, if I remember right, this hay mow would hold 4,000 or 5,000 bales of hay. But that's how the hay was put in here for a while. Then, oh gosh, sometime in the 1980s, after I bought the farm, I put in this this hay conveyor with the kickoff that you can see here. It runs the entire length of the barn, and of course I could set the kickoff to kick bales off of it anywhere. And the hay bales came out the end, and there's a 90-degree corner out there. And I'll go out there and show you that. But that's how the bales came into it, because I really don't have good access to either side of the barn to come straight up. So I'll go outside and get a little bit of video of that. So there's the 90-degree corner where the bales go up and go into the barn. The bottom half of this conveyor, I always took this off in the wintertime because it gets in the way as far as having a place to put the snow. But yeah, in the summertime when I was putting hay in the barn, we would unload the wagons right there. So yeah, I haven't used this gosh, ever since I sold the milk cows. I've put this conveyor system on Craigslist a few times, and I've never gotten a nibble on it. Not many people mess with small square bales in any volume anymore. So I don't know. My plans are this year to try and I'm seeding down some of my fields that I've rented out, and hopefully I'll have a bunch of oats to combine and a bunch of straw to bale up. And if that's the case, I might put the end back on here and fire this up again. But that's my plans anyway. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's how the small square bales have been put up on this farm for a while. Towards the end of milking cows, I really put up a lot more round bales and squares. I still, even when I was milking, I like to have a couple of thousand small squares in the barn for the cows, because I'd keep them in at night and put them out during the day. So anyway, I've just plugged in the 1086. I'll let that warm up for a couple hours before I start it and set bales. It's always much happier after it has plugged in for a couple hours, and I'll make the cows happy. But anyway, we're still plugging along here in southwest Wisconsin as best we can. Spring hopefully is around the corner. It's March now, so it's about time for it to warm up. So we'll just sit back and wait for that to happen. So until next time, have a good day.